Well, it's the manhunt that is gripping the nation today, and we have an amazing new wrinkle in this story that raises incredible new possibilities in a case that's making news moment by moment. Now, let's get caught up with the latest before we run today's incredible video from CNN. It could well shed some important new light on this unbelievable cyber dragnet that's unfolding before our eyes.
Search for the gunman who killed the UnitedHealthcare CEO in Midtown is now intensifying.
We have new images of a person of interest in the case, unmasked and smiling. Now, sources say it's possible he arrived to New York by bus late last month. Once he arrived, he stayed in a hostel on the Upper West Side, and that's where police say these clear photos were captured. Christina Finn joins us live from the Upper West Side, where investigators are now focusing on that hostel. Christina?
Chris and Mary, good morning. Police believe the person of interest they want to question arrived here in the city on November 24th by bus. That's 10 days before the shooting. They say he then checked into this hostel on Amsterdam Avenue, where clear surveillance images have now been recovered. This Upper West Side hostel is now the focal point of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson's murder investigation. It's where the NYPD obtained these photos of a person of interest who let his guard and his mask down as he talked to a woman working the front desk. Police sources say the man used a fake New Jersey ID with a phony name to check in.
That one informal moment between two human beings remains at this moment the most significant clue to date in this whole case.
Surveillance video obtained by the New York Times shows the suspect talking on a cell phone while walking towards the hotel. 16 minutes later, Thompson is killed. NYPD sources say the gunman used a B&T Station 6 gun equipped with a silencer.
In all of my years of law enforcement, I have never seen a silencer before. And so that was really something that was shocking to us all.
Investigators still have not found two of the most important pieces of evidence, the gun and the knapsack. But detectives are investigating if the words delay and deny found written in Sharpie on shell casings shed light on motive, possibly referencing a book called Delay, Deny, Defend that is critical of tactics allegedly used by insurers.
Wow, this is really the stuff of the great whodunits of the past. In fact, the clip that we're about to show you from earlier on CNN, it features an expert who suggests a shocking possible motive behind this mystery. And by doing so, as you're about to see, former Maryland State Police Commander Neil Franklin, he may well join the ranks of the great detectives of the past. Well, if he's right, he may even be spoken of in the same breath as the greatest gotcha detective of all time.
It's a setup, that's all. You touched those paintings just now while I wasn't looking. You saw him do it, didn't you? You put your prints on those paintings while you were bent over watching them when they were working on it. He touched them. You.
Okay then, earlier on CNN, a motive for the tragic homicide unfolding on the streets of New York City was proposed by a former state police commander. And his suggestion for the reason behind this tragedy is just as shocking as the act itself. Check it out.
You think that they know who he is? You think that they have his identity?
It's a good chance. It's a very good possibility with these new photographs that he has that they already know who he is. Mm-hmm. It's a very good chance of that. But I want to say something else that I know these criminal investigators are looking into as it relates to motive. There have been times when people have orchestrated their own demise for certain reasons. We know that there was some, and I'm not saying this is the case, but as an investigator,
like for insurance purposes,
absolutely, insurance purposes. Maybe they fear some type of investigation down the road. Maybe they want to leave their family in a good light. But there have been cases where people have orchestrated their own demise. And here's another reason.
And just to say, you're saying in a nice language, you're saying that it is a possibility.
It is a possibility
that he hired somebody to kill him.
Absolutely, it cannot be ignored. And this is what is really digging at me as a former criminal investigator. This guy knew too much about where he was going to be at a specific time. There's no evidence that I've seen of him, when you look at the timeline of him coming to that area outside of the Hilton and where he was outside of the Hilton, it's a very small window. Very small window. It's not like he was roaming around. We have video of him roaming around, going from one door to the next, trying to figure out where he's going to be at a specific time.
He knew.
He was there. He was laying in wait. Who would have that specific type of information as to what sidewalk he was going to be on?
Okay.
Where he's going in?
Wow. Well, that's
saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way a criminal investigator's mind works, and it's important. It's important.
This is a deadly serious story with huge cultural and socioeconomic ramifications. My good friend Waterman, he equated it with the shot heard round the world. And in terms of it being a first volley of the new resistance to the impersonal, inhuman, and unfeeling corporate bureaucracy that quite likely looms to take over civil service, well, he might be right. And this might be the face in the crowd that focuses attention on a problem that only stands to get worse in the coming days ahead.